Good morning. Camera on. I put a timer on for 10 minutes. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my channel. I'm glad that you're here with me this morning. I am currently in Sydney, Australia, and I am about to go and teach. Oh, I just got a message from my boyfriend. So cute. Papa Bear. Anyhow, let me start the timer. I'm gonna put my timer on for 10 minutes because I don't wanna over talk this morning. I don't even really know what I'm gonna talk about. It's so, all these messages are coming in. Beautiful for my boyfriend. Anyway, I'm with you right now, and what I'm gonna talk about. Today is 9/11, and well, we all know what that means. And all the destruction. It reminds me of the destruction in the world as a collective and as an individual. And yeah, you know, I want to talk about that actually. I just want to talk about something that I experience a lot, that I was talking about recently, and that's synchronicity and serendipity and all that kind of thing. You know, I have so many experiences in my life that make me take notice on reality and my existence, because this is my journey, and I realize that it happens all the time. So I have this like play with the number 11, and a lot of people do. So this 1111 is angels, apparently. So I'll Google that. It was happening before I even knew that 11 was an actual thing with numbers. And so this whole thing about numerology, but I'm not so familiar with that. But the number 11 shows up so many times during the day, and I find that incredibly, like, I don't really know what it means, but certainly for sure there's some kind of interaction with me. And so every time I pick up my phone, not every time, but most of the time when I pick up my phone, a lot of the times, you know, 5 times a day, a few times a day, it happens. So I take notice in that, and I'm like, wow, this is really happening a lot. So last night I was sleeping, and I woke up, and when I woke up, I was like, I touched my phone and it was 111. So I have just the number 11. So like, either sometimes it's my phone says 511, 1011, 1211, 1311, because I'm on European time most of the time. And you know, as I started to express this to a lot of people are having it. So that's something about synchronicity that's so interesting. And Carl Jung had coined that phrase, synchronicity, I believe. And so so I started like reading a lot about coincidence, or that's what synchronicity is, but I don't believe in coincidence. And so I see a lot of things manifesting in my life that are so unexplainable in a way. And so I started living my life from this. So every time I see the number 11 on my phone, or on the radio, or like hear it on the radio, or on the internet or something, or number 11, it pops up everywhere. It pops up everywhere. And so that's one of my experiences with that synchronicity, and it's really super fun, and it kind of keeps me in the moment, and I'm super aware of it. I also see the same people twice all the time. Sometimes during the day I'll see them, and then sometimes later on, like an hour, it could be an hour, it could be 5 hours, it could be 6 hours later, I see the same person, and I pass the same person that I take notice, and I'm like, that's a bit odd. And so when I started to notice those things, it started to kind of like happen a lot, like unexplainably a lot. So nothing needs to be explained here, just that I feel something, and I feel that I'm not alone, and I really enjoy that. So I enjoy that more than like being caught up in my thoughts about anything negative or positive, or something that my ego is experiencing or wants to experience or drag me down to some kind of drama about he said, she said. kind of thing, or being afraid of, or just nervous about teaching or things like that. And I still get nervous when I teach. I'm teaching this morning at the PPYs at the Sydney Dance, and the anticipation can be quite big. Anyway, so you know, when I start to notice these things in my life, I'm so curious about it, and my controlling mind, or my conditioned mind, can try to be skeptical about those kind of things. And it's healthy to be skeptical, but it's interesting to look at life like this. So I find that so very, very interesting. And I let go of, when I let go, I experience so much more. Let go, I mean, let go of the ego mind and all that stuff that I talk about all the time. But I'm here to just say, like, you know, I'm trusting, right now I'm in a place where I'm just trusting that everything is okay, and I'm living from a point where I can be right in the moment. And as much as that is perhaps cliche this day, and everybody talks about being in the moment and being in the now, it's really kind of true. And once you start experiencing that, you start experiencing so many incredible things. And that's kind of where I am, and it really affects my creativity as an artist. And I'm so surprised, and some of the ballets that I create, or some of the pieces or works that I create, or workshops that I do, or teachings and stuff like that, not necessarily ballet classes, because ballet classes I structure and I'm opening up. Yesterday, in fact, I have a lot of knowledge, so I pull from things that I do know, and I kind of put it together in the moment. So I'm kind of more or less living in that way, or something like that. And so when I search for evidence, because my mind is quite skeptical, when I search for evidence or readings or teachings or old things, you know, like, this is really known for a very, very long, like thousands and thousands of years. And it relates to consciousness. And if you haven't gotten onto the boat of consciousness, like right now, like that is like a huge part of our existence. Like, there are so many paths in consciousness, and like, if you go into any bookstore, if you do these days, you can see the abundance of information that is written by very, very educated, intelligent people, and not so. If I explain that right, I don't know how to explain that, but see, that's my mind. So like, they have to be educated and knowledgeable and all this, but a lot of people experience this as no life. And there have been books, amazing books, that have been like channeled, you know, like Conversations with God is an incredible book. If you haven't read that book, I would read that book. It's been channeled. Neil Donald Walsh, he said he channeled that book. The Course in Miracles is an incredible thing. I haven't read it, but it was channeled, and so there's a lot of information in that. And obviously, you know, Christ consciousness is also involved. You know, there's so many different paths, you know, that relate to all this stuff, and it's quite a magical and uplifting kind of thing, and not this dramas that we create in our lives. And you know, because in fact, you know, as I look at this, like with the dramas and the suffering that we have, there is less suffering when I notice and I'm aware, when I'm in the moment. That is like really something incredibly special for me. And I'm trusting that I can live from that point without projecting too much in the future. When I recognize that my mind projects into the future, or projects into the future and wants me to get something, or, you know, like, or that can cause me some kind of suffering, and I miss the point, I miss the moment, I miss the people that is in my experience at the moment. I miss these 11s, I miss seeing people, whatever they mean. I just find it so incredible to live my life like this right now. So that's why I share that. And so it's a big, broad subject. The timer's gonna turn off soon, I can see that, but I'm here to talk about that. Serendipity or synchronicity is an incredible part of our existence, and if you recognize those things, I think, you know, what I feel like in the prior in my life, somehow I was like the cocoon of the butterfly, And right now I feel like as I live my life this way, I'm becoming like the butterfly. And that analogy or that metaphor is an incredible thing. And I feel like that if we are nature, we are nature, gosh, we are nature, and consciousness is part of that. We crystallize into these butterflies and we start to fly and living from the place where we want to live and making our choices like that, and not a conditional, societal, influential choice that has been conditioned into our minds. And it's such a beautiful, absolutely incredible thing. That's my timer. So like, I'm here this morning just to offer you just like the opportunity to kind of look at that just a little bit, a moment. If you have any coincidence, or that you so-called coincidence in your life, I don't believe there's such a thing that way, that it just happens. But for you, if you think it just happens in your reality, because consciousness includes all of that. So if you're in the moment, you recognize so many incredible things. Incredible things. And don't try to explain them or try to figure them out. It's just kind of a gift from the universe, and it keeps me really happy. And I want you to be happy, and I want everybody to be happy and excited about life and their own life, and wake up and share your gifts. So I'm sharing my gift, I'm sharing my experiences here. So thank you for your watching this, and have a great day. And today is Monday, so I will try to get my videos out to you every morning. All right, I love you, and stay safe, and keep believing and trusting, and everything is going to be a-okay. I love you all, and have a great time. Bye.